Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This is going to be kind of a weird video. I don't even know what I'm going to title it or what to call it. Basically, I just had a conversation with a friend, and I'm not going to name their name because it's not my business to. A very good conversation. We were talking about if he should get XYZ, if he should spend on this, and like roster building in general. And I have some very specific thoughts on things that maybe will help you guys. Maybe it won't. Just remember these are all my opinions, and this is my approach after playing Champions. I think I've been playing like nearly 6 years now. I have a very specific approach how I go into trying to acquire characters, build my roster, and things like that. And my friend really encouraged me that I should make a video on this, and like normal, I said I don't really know how to put it into words. But after having just had the conversation, I want to try and do my best. So hopefully this will help you guys. I want to start with, I get asked all the time, who's better? Who should I level up? I don't think you guys should ask that question. And here's why. I don't know your roster. Whoever you ask doesn't know your roster. People can say X is way better than Y. Often they're wrong. Often it depends what you have, what trainers you have are way more important. Straps and plates are way more important. If you can't run somebody at their peak level, then you can't answer that question. If you have a roster where you can run everyone at their peak level, yeah, I can answer that question for you, in my opinion, but ultimately, it still won't be right for you. So the best thing you can do is really figure out how to build your roster smartly. You all have a different budget. Some of you are free. Some of you spend a little bit. Some spend a lot. So I just want to start with a few things, and I don't know where this is going to go by the time I'm done or how long this is going to be. I don't have an outline. I don't have a plan. It's stuff that I talk about bits and pieces on stream a lot, but never really gets condensed into a video form. So one of the things we were talking about, and one of the things that really makes a video and a character hard for me is someone like Acrobat Seth, right? And I don't want to beat a dead horse or anything. Seth hits hard, but he has his problems, right? Tech Miz hits super hard. He has a problem. So Tech Miz gear is here in a milestone. And people are like, oh, Tech Miz, he hits super hard with his gear. Yeah, he does. Sure. But what does that actually do for your roster? Like if you're somebody that just gets everything and wants everything, you don't need advice for a roster. Just go buy it, go do what you're going to do. This video is not for you. If you want everything, this video isn't for you. I mean, to be fair, I want everything, but you have to be realistic. So I think the first thing you should do is really be realistic, right? Know yourself, know what you can do, know what kind of faction you're in, know your spending limits. If you have a budget of $20 a month, where does that $20 make the biggest impact for you, right? If you have a budget of 500, where does that make the biggest impact for you? If you're in a low ranked faction, you're not getting all of your milestones and stuff, you can't really expect to have like a really good roster, right? You need to move into a better faction, a higher ranked faction, things like that. So I'll give you a personal example, and hopefully this helps. I gave it to my friend. It seemed to help him. When Striker Roman, who's amazing, OTC is amazing, incredible striker, right? Obviously I didn't get him. He went to the club store. I had 700,000 currency. Basically, I'm probably one of the few people that had 700,000 currency and didn't take Striker Roman. And you might be thinking, wow, that's crazy. Why didn't you take Striker Roman? At that time, I had two strikers. I had Zombie Sammy that I was using main, and I was using Bray, those two. Zombie Sammy when I had a middle lane, Bray when I didn't. Roman is absolutely better than either of them. In fact, he's a lot better. But in reality, where the only place I was going to care about Roman on my roster, in my faction, I don't need OTC for anything. Don't need him for Showdown, don't need him for Feud, and don't need him for Boss Battle. What I did want him for was for Feud because he's slightly faster than Sammy, right? Sammy also needs a middle lane. So slightly faster than Sammy and doesn't need a middle lane. But it would have been a marginal increase for 700,000 club coins. Fast forward a couple, and his trainer is garbage, literally. Like, not it, and not to bag on it, but like, it's not game changing. Fast forward a few months, what happens? Howdy comes out. He's a million club currency. I hear all kinds of people say that's crazy. Why would you pay $1 million for Howdy? Absolutely not worth it. I did it instantly. The second I had $1 million, I did it. Absolutely worth it. Here's why. Howdy released, and he was going to be super expensive. I spent nothing for Howdy. Did I want Howdy? Way more than I wanted Roman. Not because of a fighter. That doesn't matter. Because of this coach. This coach is absolutely game changing on multiple people. One of the best in the game. Most fighters, I'm lucky if I use them for 2 to 6 months. This is a coach I'll use for years. So why is it crazy to spend $1 million currency on a coach I'm going to use for years that's currently game changing on multiple characters I run? To me, that's a no-brainer and the easiest choice you can make. So what I'm saying is I pick my spot. I still don't have Roman. I don't have Yeet, Jey Uso, right? I did get Hall of Famer on. That worked out really well. So I'm not feeling nearly as much FOMO for missing those guys. My strikers are not hurting at all. In fact, Ron is faster than all of them. And I have Howdy now. So what I'm saying to you guys is, when you look at my roster, I don't try to get everyone. There are some that I know I'm not going to get. I can't afford it. It's not going to happen. I just don't get them. I don't even try. I don't spend, right? I just say, nope, not for me, not going to happen. You look at what I'm missing, and like stuff that is actually a clutch trainer. Obviously, I had no chance, so I wasn't going to spend, right? Same thing with Cody, but like actual, like really, really clutch trainers, coaches, this one's pretty good, right? It just wasn't there to push though. It would have been too expensive for those last 500 shards, but it's one I'd really like. I wouldn't, because there's a ton of them, it's not really diluted. Bradshaw, I definitely like the Hall of Fame coach and trainer abilities. I spent zero. I didn't even go for the shard offers. Wasn't gonna happen. Not doing it, right? Like, do I want him? Absolutely. I want him super bad. His trainer is very good, but it's not like a 10 out of 10 for me. None of the Hall of Famers are. They're like 8 out of 10. All of these, none of them are important to me. I don't care about defense, right? Gunther, the same kind of deal. Marginal upgrade, side grade, didn't care about his trainer. The one I think that you could really argue that I'm missing that actually hurts is Rocky, and I just couldn't afford it, right? So it didn't happen. Why am I saying this? I'm not trying to brag on my roster or talk about things like that. What I am saying, though, because of my variety of trainers and focusing on getting those really, really good entourage people, when somebody comes out, I can run them. So if a good card releases, I can run it because I have the trainers, right? So it's way more important to focus on entourage and those ones that make a huge difference to me. So when a new one comes out, I absolutely can run it at their top notch. What's the other thing you need to run new superstars when they come out? It's the plates, straps, medals, plates, right? So I put a bigger focus on entourage and plates than I do on acquiring new superstars. Why? Because the shelf life is short, and I'm still using plates years later that make the difference and put them over the edge, right? Like still using like Piper plates, stuff like that. So if somebody comes out though and they're like a huge move the needle for me, so like Macho Man was free and he got upgraded, he moves the needle huge, so he went to gold instantly, right? He moved the needle huge for me. As far as speed, ease of use, the things I value. That's how I try and focus my roster building. Not on the newest fad, the newest hard hitter that everyone loves, that 2 months from now, 3 months from now, you forget about and no one's talking about anymore. I focus on getting those trainers and the plates so I can run anybody or as close as I can to anyone that comes out when the opportunity arises. Are there some plates I'm still missing? Yes. I never got any of the Ghostbuster plates because they were too expensive. I didn't get, I got 2 of the Royal Rumble plates. I didn't get a ton of them. I didn't spend a bunch. They're nice, but I didn't feel like I needed them, but I do want them. Um, so what I'm saying, guys, is when you look at your roster, don't just go like, oh, Mherex said Hall of Fame Ron is the best, so I'm gonna level him up. Well, on my roster, he might be the best, but on your roster, Roger Rabbit might be the best, right? Same thing when your faction mate tells you, oh, dude, this guy hits like a truck. You need to level him up. Don't do it. Like, figure it out yourself. Like, ask questions. By all means, look for comparisons, see people run them with the things you have, and then see what they can do, right? So when you go into this, also, like I said, it's important knowing your budget, being realistic to yourself, right? If you're somebody that doesn't have plates and you continue to pass up plates when you can get them and you're a free-to-play player, you're never going to have plates. You're never going to be able to run anyone top-notch at their top level because you don't have any plates. That's just the truth. So when those plates do come up, you have to, the Piper plate is a great example when people are like, I don't have a good lady powerhouse. So what? I mean, really, so what? So you don't have a good lady powerhouse. I mean, you're giving up something that's like incredibly good so you can get a Piper wasn't good when she came out. I don't care if she's your best, right? There's plenty of times when just because you don't need to use somebody, that's good. And it's limited how much you need to use them. Even in Feud, where you have to win battles with a certain class, you only have to win like 4 battles or 6 battles. Who the heck cares, right? Just put in somebody low, get your wins, and then don't run them again. No one says you have to run one of every class in a Feud. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff I'm trying to get at. And then focus, right? Have laser focus. When somebody, like if you have a bunch of club coin stores and you're spending points and you spend a bunch, don't just get something because it's new. Be patient. Wait for something that's impactful. And then if you know there's somebody you want and it's an expensive release method, why are you spending hundreds of dollars when they come out trying to get them right away when you have the club coins to just wait a couple months? In fact, a lot of the people that have the most club coins don't even use them because they're just getting everyone as soon as they release anyway, right? So use your resources wisely. Don't think you need everything. I'm going to show you some really good examples, right? A lot of people just want stuff and they're not even sure why. I don't have Rhea gear. She's got 16 million moments. Her gear had 6 MP, right? Rhea sucks. With all of her moments, with her gear, she sucks. She's not somebody you're going to use. That's $20. Why are you spending it, right? If you have a good reason, if that $20 makes you happy and like you want to play Rhea, you want the MP, cool, great. Then go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? But otherwise, you're just like, it makes no rhyme or reason why people throw money at things to me. $20 for Dom gear. Are you ever going to use Dom at Trickster? No. I mean, not and be good unless he gets like reworked or something. But right now, there's no reason. 150% of not very much is not very much. The Miz gear. Why are we going after the Miz gear? Miz already hits hard enough. You can say, oh, but Mherex, I'm going to use him in boss. Yeah, but you don't need to. Right? Like you're going to go to the final milestone in an event to get it. Now, if you get the Miz gear chasing the Indie gear, okay, that makes sense to me. Indie with her gear is special. She's a needle mover. She'll be fine in the next meta. She's 2 clicks and 140 million with all of her stuff, right? There's no way she's not going to be fine. That's stuff I can like get behind and that makes sense if you can like afford it responsibly, right? So I'm not saying not to spend. And in fact, I'm not even saying not to buy these offers. That you know your wallet better than me. What I'm saying though is you need to focus your roster building on everything, whether it's your resources, whether it's your spending, whether it's your prize walls and what you're trying to acquire. This is another great example, right? People go gaga for gears, right? Why are you getting them if they don't do anything that matters and you're still not going to use them? You know what I'm saying? Like, get stuff that makes a difference on your roster, that actually improves something. Have a reason for why you want it and then go get it. Go work towards it. Do what you have to. When it finally comes up, if you're somebody and you spend like $20 a month and you say, Mherex, I'll never get a great plate, I'll say that is not true. Save your $20 a month till a good plate comes up. It, what, 4 or 5 months, you're going to have $100. Maybe you can get it then, right? If you're somebody that spends $40 a month, save it. Save it up for that big spend. Target what you need to make your roster significantly better. And I would tell people, for the most part, how many people watching this, when they finally get a character, I hear this all the time, they're just not that good anymore. I'm like, yeah, you're right. They're not that good anymore. Uh, and even if they were good, you probably don't have the stuff to run them a lot of times, right? Sometimes there's a magical rework that happens, and that's like amazing, but you can't count on that. Um, so like that's what I'm saying, guys. Focus more on acquiring those like trainers when you can, when it's there, and those entourage abilities and those plates, and build your roster that way. That's like, to me, it's like building with a strong base, right? If you just like, I don't know, who do you guys want to call the best character in the game? I don't know. You pick whoever it is, right? And you're gonna say, I want to build around my roster around that. Well, what happens 6 months from now when there's other best characters and you never had the right trainers to begin with? So you want to build a good foundation, build from the bottom up, and those are trainers, coaches, straps, medals, plates. Because if you don't have those things, they're not good, right? There's a rare exception like Texina, who I showed hitting like, what was it, 70 million without like trainers, and the same without a strap, some nonsense like that. But that's once in a blue moon, and he's like mega paywalled, right? So realistically, you're not going to build your roster around that, and that sort of thing. And that I think is an anomaly or a mistake or poor balancing on Scopely's part more than anything else. Um, but if you have these trainers built up, if you have these coaches built up, if that's what you're trying to get, every one you get is another one you can use on your entire roster, right? Every zombie with the 60% multiply and the 40% color is huge. Every time you get Sherry, it opens up a ton more, you know what I mean? Options with the ×4 multiply. Every single one, everyone can get 3 of the 2 MP ones free. I took them all gold. 2 MP, 2 multiply. Those are absolutely massive. They all went 35k on my roster. NOD Rock, I know not everyone has him, obviously. Andre, Braun, still not everyone has, right? They're all gold 35k. Lex, Priest, and then Liv will go gold too. After this MLC. New Striker Liv is the green one, right? So you have black, you have blue, and you have green. That a lot of people have. Not everyone has Priest either, but as you get them up and use their training ability, it's huge, makes a big difference. And that's more what I mean, like trying to build your roster with a strong base, especially if you're constantly saying like, man, I have these people and they were great and now they're just not good. Or people said XYZ character was amazing, but I don't hit hard with them, right? So like really focus on that with your roster building, with your spending. Like it's all the same thing, right? We're all trying to build the best roster we can with the resources we have. That's in-game, that's real life money, that's time, all of it. So like I would tell you guys to focus your energy into those things you really need, and don't try and get everything. If I want every character, I really want a JBL bad. I think he's a great trickster, but I'll tell you what, in reality, he's almost a wash with my R-Truth, the way I have my R-Truth set up, and he's only slightly better than my Macho with the way I have Macho set up. He's on paper, he's way better. He can do more things like that I like. He can hit harder, etc. potentially, but he's only slightly faster. So in reality, he doesn't move the needle very much, and it was going to be incredibly expensive, so I just didn't spend, right? That's more what I mean. Sometimes it helps a lot if you step back and look at it, because you're going to want everything. If you think I don't want everything, you're crazy. I want every plate in the game. I want every character, but I'm also realist enough to know that'll never happen, right? And I am also cheap. So I want to get everything as cheaply as possible and only really, really spend a lot or push hard when it makes a huge difference for my roster. So I don't know if that helps you guys. I'm very curious on the comments of this video. I realize I've been talking for like 20 minutes without even showing any gameplay or anything. I hope this video, you guys understand it. It makes sense. I can try and do more things or expand on it if that helps, based on the comments. But I hope this doesn't get, and at the end of the day, this is just how things are for me, right? Like it doesn't mean it'll work for you. I don't build a character. I have so many guys that aren't risky. I won't use somebody that has cascade risk. And by the way, choosing 3 gems is a cascade risk. Anytime you choose gems, you can cascade risk. So don't tell me in the comments like of videos, this character has no cascade risk. Bruh, you chose 3 gems. It 100% has cascade risk, right? So the way I want to build my roster, I want everybody to be consistent as possible. So I know exactly what they're going to do. Then I know exactly if I'm going to win or not, right? So that's how I've built my roster to be super consistent. I don't care how hard they hit. I care how consistent they are and how fast they are and do they hit hard enough. All I need to do is 0 your health. I don't need to do more. Until they give me a benefit or reason for doing more damage, there's no reason to take chances when I don't have to, right? So that's how I set my roster up. That's how it's right for me. That doesn't mean it's right for you, right? So try and take the pieces of information and advice or experience that I have and make it fit for you, right? You don't have to do everything exactly the same way I do, but I think focusing on your roster on what really makes a huge impact and it will help you a lot. With the massive character log we have now, guys, I honestly think you're way better off focusing on the basics than strong characters that like are just like super good and you're just continually cycling through them, because you'll never have the stuff to run them at a high level if you don't focus on getting those plates, those trainers, those straps, and those medals. And the more you have, the more characters you can run, and it unlocks way more options. So I think I'll end it with that. Please let me know what you think. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Also, another shout out to my friend that encouraged me to make this video. You're a good dude, buddy. I appreciate you. And thanks for the support. So, yeah. That's what I got, guys. Thanks for watching. Good luck out there. I really hope this helps people. I don't know if it will, but I hope it does.